B, Chairwoman's remarks.
I have none. Next item.
C, approve the June 11, 2024 meeting minutes.
So moved.
All right, we have an approval and a support. Any questions, changes? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any noes, any abstentions? Oh, and you can vote on your little tablet.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Next item.
D, unfinished business. There is none listed.
Right, next.
Item 1, under new business, requesting commission approval of Amendment 1 to a 3-year professional engineering services contract with a 1-year option to renew with DLZ Michigan for rehabilitation, construction, and traffic signal modernization at the intersection of Wayne Road and Equus Road in the city of Romulus.
Okay, can we do it all at the end?
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just do one. Unless, and if you're dying to do that one. you
Oh,
can
not
make
at
that.
all.
Okay. And you can make it a full board. Okay, any questions on this? Okay. It's not, hold on 1 second. Hold 1 second on this one. Settle down. Okay, I'm thinking of something else. All right, I'm sorry. Next item.
Item 2, requesting commission approval of Amendment 1 to an agreement with the city of Allen Park for additional improvements to Champaign Park.
Okay, this is the Park Millage item. Questions? Okay, next item.
Item 3, requesting commission approval of a contract with the Michigan Department of Transportation for the completion of streetscape design and construction along Mack Avenue from Connor Street to Ross Road.
Okay, is there someone on this item here just to explain it? Looks like there was a legislative earmark here. Anyone? This. Okay, it looks like it's a legislative earmark and that we will pay the monies if it goes over $1 million. From 0 to 2.
Exactly. Good morning, Michelle Yancey, Department of Public Services Admin. Yes, Madam Chair, that's what this is.
Okay, and then the Grosse Points are going to share in the cost of this as well?
I believe so, yes. So there will be a cost sharing intergovernmental agreement.
Grosse Pointe Park, the farms, and Grosse Pointe in Detroit.
Yes.
Okay, so this is just going to be, do you know what this is? And introduce yourselves if you would.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Alan Ko. I'm the Assistant Division Director of Engineering. Okay, this is a grant, and it's going to be Wayne County will have to contribute a certain percentage of this. So it's a grant by MDOT, from MDOT.
Okay. Do you know exactly what they're doing?
Yes, they're going to be doing like a streetscape project. So like sidewalks, benches, and
Okay.
so to modify or to beautification of the streets.
Of those areas?
Yes.
Okay, and then they're all going to be contributing monies into it.
Yes, they will.
Okay, questions on this? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
By the way, this is just one of several earmarks that you all were presented by the state for
Oh,
different
okay.
beautification projects.
Oh, good. So they'll be coming to us?
Yes, I believe you have one for Denton.
For where?
Denton Bridge. It
Okay,
was $1 million for that one, and also, what was the third one? It was Grosse Ile, yeah, the Grosse Ile Bridge. It was
Oh, the
another $1 million
Grosse Ile
dollar
Bridge.
for that one. So it was
Okay.
like 3
Wh-
total.
where's the Denton Bridge?
Where? In Canton?
No.
Yeah, Belleville.
Oh,
Belleville.
Belleville. Okay. All right. So oh, yeah. Okay. I know where that is. I didn't know that was the name of it. Yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you for the audience participation.
Yes. I do know that we did have earmarks. I remember that, but locations, that's,
Okay. Sounds,
Definitely.
yeah, sounds good. Al, turn on your mic.
Put sidewalk on both sides.
Um, As far as I'm concerned, there's only one side sidewalk they're gonna put on that bridge. Yes, one side. But let me confirm that and I'll let you know, but I know it's only one side.
One side.
That's correct.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next item.
Item 4, requesting commission approval of a resolution authorizing the 2024 project plan for continued improvements to the Rouge Valley Sewage Disposal System.
Okay, Patrick. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Patrick Cullen, Environmental Services Division Director, DPS.
Okay, so you have the next two.
Yes, and I'm glad that they're here both
possibly
together.
number
There's
7.
another one, item number 7
Yeah,
is
I didn't know.
related, but it's not, it's a little bit.
I didn't know if you were on number 7, but let's.
Let me start with number 4.
Yep, yep.
And I appreciate your patience and the staff's patience on trying to understand what this really meant. And there's some back and forth. And so thanks to Felicia and her staff for working with us on this. The state requires, in order to be eligible for clean water state revolving funding, which are low interest loans that are offered to municipalities for water and sanitary sewer infrastructure projects, you have to have what's known as a project plan. In other words, you have to come up with a plan of what you want to do, when you want to do it, where you want to do it, and how it's going to, improve water quality. You have to do this plan every 5 years. And so this is our 5-year update. Our last one was done in 2019. So this is 2024. In order for us to be eligible for SRF funding in the future, we have to have this project plan in place. And so we need the commission's authorization for the plan. That's number 4.
Okay, and this plan was formulated by your department?
Yes,
Okay.
our department in consultation with our consultants, with
your
our engineering
consultant.
consultants. Yes,
Okay, so this is just an ongoing.
that's right. Yep.
12.
It lays out the plan of what we're going to do in the Rouge Valley sewage disposal system. And I think the last time we talked about this, I had said we're in year 2 or 3 of a 10-year plan.
Yeah.
It's now a 12-year
Yeah,
plan.
I saw that.
Because of, delays of construction and such. So we're now in year 4 of 12 instead of year 3 of 10 or 4 of 10.
Okay.
The biggest goal, and I should say this, the biggest goal with our long-term corrective action plan in Rouge Valley is we're really trying to avoid building what's known as a wet weather storage facility, which the state still has on their radar for us. But if we can prove to them that we can improve water quality with all of these other projects that we're doing to the point that we don't need to, if we show significant improvement, we won't have to make that significant capital investment, which is estimated anywhere from $50 to $75 million. We don't want to do it. They're hard to build. They're forever maintenance. They're a long-term maintenance issue too. So our goal is not to do that. That's probably the biggest element of the plan I wanted to point out.
So I did have that down as one of my questions. What is that exactly? The wet
So
water storage?
It's basically a large holding tank. It's a large holding tank that collects combined sewer overflow, any mixture of rainwater, and hopefully just sanitary sewer overflow during wet weather events. The challenge with the Rouge Valley system being, 100 sections of it more than 100 years old is it's very leaky. And so anytime it rains, much of the system is located in the Lower Rouge Parkway and in Hines Park in the Middle Rouge Parkway. Rainwater, stormwater gets into our sanitary sewers and eliminates the capacity of the sewer. The sewer surcharge and then discharge combined sewerage, and you have what's known as a sanitary sewer overflow into the river. We really don't want that. We need to tighten the system up. We need to continue to do our asset management and do all of these construction projects that we're working on to dry the system out, to make it airtight, to make sure that we're keeping the river water out of the sanitary sewage flow. But during wet weather events, one of the options is you can store a lot of this excess flow in a large, it's like a big giant box. It's a retention box. It holds back the sewage until the water level lessens in the sewer and the river, where you can then either treat it and release it.
Are there other places in Michigan that have been required to have the wet water storage?
Yes, yeah. And in fact, Redford Township, the state is requiring Redford Township to build 2 of these types of facilities. And they're in the process of building their first one right now.
Wow.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
Yeah, especially for Redford. That's
Right.
pretty. So do you know where they're building that in Redford?
I do. It's near an old school site. I think it's east of Beach Daily and 5 Mile area, roughly.
Okay.
I could send that to you. I know the exact location. I just can't think of it
Yeah,
off the top
no,
of my
that's,
head.
yeah, I was just curious. I
They
mean, I
spent
grew
quite a
over
bit
there.
of time to figure out where they were going to put it.
And they have to pay for it.
They have to pay for it.
Wow. Yike. Okay. Any questions on number 4 from commissioners? All right, let's go to number 5 then for the issuance of the bonds.
Yeah. So number 5 is the
Oh, I'm
author.
sorry. I have to have the clerk read that.
Oh,
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Item 5, requesting commission approval of a resolution authorizing the issuance of revenue bonds for Phase 2 and 3 long-term corrective action plan improvements to the Rouge Valley sewage disposal system.
Did I have you read number 4? Okay. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Number 5 is to get the authorization to issue up to $30 million in bond, which will be reimbursed through the Clean Water State Revolving Fund at a very low interest loan. We're going to extend that loan out over 30 years so that the impact to the ratepayers and the community is lessened. This is the biggest by far of the 3. This is the 3rd time we've come to the commission requesting bond funding. The first one was for 5 million. The second one was for 10. This is one that's for 30. This is going to be the biggest one that we have as part of the LTCAP program. We're going to do significant sewer lining throughout the system, manhole rehabilitation, grouting, tightening the system up. And there's also some sewer replacement that's going on as part of this project as well. So this is not inexpensive work. We're actually pretty excited to start working on it.
So some of this will be a grant, and then then the communities are going to be paying.
This eventually gets paid back by the ratepayers in the Rouge Valley sewage disposal
It
system.
all eventually
It
gets
does,
paid
yes.
back.
Now, I will say, I'm glad you mentioned the grant because the state did notify us recently that they do have some leftover ARP funding
Okay.
that is going to be given to the county. We're waiting for the final details about how much it's going to be as part of this package.
But we're still going to do the 30 million.
Up to
back.
30 million. Yeah,
Up to 30 million. So it might be able to
Yeah.
be lower than that.
Correct.
Commissioner? Can you put is your mic on?
Said, the community pay back.
No, you turned it off.
Will you take us?
Pay back some of the funding back to the county,
right.
and that money be paid back, go to which fund in Wayne County?
So there is a specific fund for the Rouge Valley sewage disposal system. We develop a rate package for all of our customers. There are 13 customers in the system. 13, they're mostly municipal customers, including the city of Novi, which is a customer of the system. That's not even in Wayne County. Our finance team takes a look at our expenditures and expenses and projected improvements and develops a rate package for each customer, for each municipality. And then they meet with the finance director of each community to talk about this is what our rate package is going to be. And the commission also approves the rate package so that you know. So I don't know when the next rate package is coming. I think it's going to be close. So you will see that in hopefully the near future. we've been lucky so far where there was enough fund balance in this fund where we haven't had to increase rates to the customers. We're getting to a point now where there might be some increases related to some of this expenditures and LTCAP that might end up getting passed down to the customers. I haven't seen those final numbers yet from our finance team, but I would expect that to be happening in the future.
Even if you still have some fund balance and the money, you still increase the rate?
Well, we are only going to increase I can't speak for our finance folks, but we're only going to increase the rate as much as it costs to continue to improve and maintain the system. And I should point out too, 95% of the rate for Rouge Valley is GLWA pass-through charges, because this system transports wastewater to the GLWA wastewater treatment facility in Detroit. And almost all of the expense is passed through from GLWA. So it's really GLWA's rates that impact the ultimate rate to the customers as much as anything else.
Thank you.
And then some of the communities it's a pass through to their customers as well, but
That's
some
correct.
add some kind of charge to it, right?
Some communities will throw a little, buck or two here for various things. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that goes over too well sometimes.
Yeah, it usually doesn't.
Yeah. Okay, any more questions on this? Okay, why don't, if you're here for number 7 as well,
Yeah.
why don't we jump to number 7? Madam Clerk?
Item 7, requesting commission approval of Amendment 3 to a construction agreement with Municipal and Contractor Sealing Products to continue the rehabilitation and lining of sanitary manholes along the Rouge Valley Sewage Disposal System and Scepter Sewers.
So this contract, commissioners, is just an time extension only. It's not a dollar extension. This company has already done a significant portion of the work under this contract. There's one big remaining item. It's called Junction M20. It's a sanitary sewer junction box, which is located at Middlebelt Road and Hines Drive on the south side of the river. It's taken time. It's taken extra time to do design and access to that particular structure because there's no easy way to get to it. We either have to cross the river from the north side, but more recently we were able to design access from Middlebelt Road on the other side. So I think we're asking for another 6 or 8 months, I believe, to finish this off, but it should be done later this year.
Okay, questions on that? And you know what? I knew I had a question on number 4, so could we jump back to number 4?
Sure.
We have, under our fiscal summary, there's an estimated sewer bill increase per household for each community. I'm assuming your department gave this.
Yeah, it likely came from us.
Okay, so, and I don't want to put you on the spot. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then I can ask you.
Okay.
But the rates jump significantly, like in 2028.
Is that the projected rates?
These are projected, then it goes down in 29, then it goes up in 2030 and 31 again. But it goes up significantly in 2021, like from 14 million total to 21 million.
That's in
then-
2021 or 2028?
2028, and then
Okay.
in 2029, it drops down to 6 million.
So my guess is, and I don't know, and I really need my finance folks to answer that question
Okay.
because they would have done that number. My guess is it's related to the projection of the construction of the wet weather storage facility.
Oh, okay. Like,
That's
so
my
hopefully
guess.
This is not going to happen.
That's my guess, but I will definitely talk to them and ask them about that.
Okay, it's like a nice chart, but it
Okay.
really jumps up and then goes back down again.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Any more questions for Patrick before he leaves? Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, can we go back to number 6 then? Madam
I-
Clerk?
Item 6, requesting commission approval of Amendment 3 to a 3-year purchase order with 1 2-year option to renew with MSC Industrial Supply to continue providing industrial tools and equipment to ensure that various projects and repairs are completed at county locations.
Okay, this is for purchasing the tools as needed. Questions on that? Oh, sure. You want to come up?
I'm just here as a representative.
I'm sorry, I didn't get to hear what you said.
Oh, I was saying, I'm just, here as a representative for Facilities Maintenance and Planning Department.
Okay, well, sit down and introduce yourself.
My name's Joseph Archer. I'm the, Assistant Division Director of Facility Maintenance and Planning.
Okay, so you just need this money for tools that are needed.
Yep, tools, equipments, parts, fittings that are needed.
Okay, and it's up to 50,000.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Anything else you want to say?
No.
All right, thanks for being here.
Thank
Okay, now Madam Clerk.
Moving to the addenda, item 8. Requesting commission approval of amendment 1 to a 2-year contract with the 1-year option to renew with Kirk's Automotive for the purchase of various automotive batteries.
Okay. All right, this is kind of self-explanatory. Any questions on this? Okay. Next item.
Item 9, requesting commission approval of a cooperative purchase agreement with McAllister Machinery Co., Inc., DBA Michigan Cat, to purchase a Caterpillar paver and 3 loaders for the Department of Public Services Equipment Division.
Someone on this one? $2 million purchase.
Good morning, Angelia
morning.
Miller, Director of Equipment.
Hello, thank you for being here.
you.
And so you need a Caterpillar paver and 3 loaders.
Yes, and we are extremely excited to be before you today. As you guys know, we have an extremely aged fleet. So to acquire new equipment to support our roads maintenance team, we are extremely ecstatic about that. Just to kind of paint a picture for you. In regards to our loaders, currently right now we have 18 loaders in fleet, with the oldest one being 30 years old. So to require a new piece of equipment, we're extremely excited about that. Also with our pavers, currently we have 3, the eldest being 26 years old. So this is exciting news. We're extremely happy to support our roads maintenance team and give our operators new equipment.
So if this gets approved next
Yes.
Thursday or Tuesday, when we have full board, how long will it take for you to receive the items?
Glad you asked that question. So right now with our pavers, we're about a year out as it pertains to acquiring this piece of equipment. And with our loaders, we're about 6 months out.
Okay. All right. Any questions on this? Great.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
One-
Yeah, oh,
one-
sure.
One
Commissioner
question,
Haydes.
I know we getting the equipment we need. Do we have enough people to operate the equipment? How the present, the equipment and people who operate the equipment match?
Yeah, in regards to, and this is more so a roads maintenance question as far as the number of operators they have. I feel like at this point in time, they do have operators where they're always looking to hire new people. They have not met the budgeted amount as far as the operators they need to have in-house. Our concern is, and the importance of getting this new equipment is, it's very challenging even to maintain the existing one. So what our struggle is that we see is that our equipment it's breaking down. So we're not able to provide the roads maintenance team with the equipment they need to actually maintain the roads.
You know, one of the concern I have is to have enough people to operate the equipment. I don't believe we have a problem with the equipment because we always update that. I see one of your engineer wanted to answer that. So I like to hear from you about that because it is important to have the manpower to operate the equipment, to be able to do the job because the season in Michigan, it's short. So that's why we, especially commissioner like myself, have a 3 township. And the township depend really on the county and almost everything. It's different than the cities. So I don't know what Steve have.
Wait, see, before you, Scott Cabell-Watton is on Zoom and he has his hand up to say something.
Good.
Hi,
Yeah,
Scott.
good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of the commission and those in the audience. My apologies for not being there in person today. But
No problem.
but I did want to, obviously this is a big expenditure and I did want to just be available in the event there's any questions or concerns. To the commissioners' comment regarding personnel, we have seen, and I'm happy to report in both Angelia's shop as well as Steve's shop, we are starting to see an uptick in employees hired into the county. There's always a continuous flow of folks retiring and moving in, but I'd say that we're on the upswing and we're on the better side of seeing more employees coming in than leaving right now. And I would attribute that to the recent collaborative bargaining changes that were recently made within not only the supervisory union of ASCME, but also the 101, which is still continuing to, those pieces are still continuing to go on, but there is an MOA in place that's allowed us to be more market competitive. We do have plenty of folks that are assigned in specific to the paving equipment. This equipment is very antiquated, and we are asking to replace the paver so that we have some good equipment that runs thoroughly and consistently. We do have enough staffing to staff this piece of equipment. As far as our roads yards, we are still in the need of hiring more folks and more people to come to the county. I am anticipating that we'll continue to see more folks come into the county, Commissioner. But we do have enough people to run these pieces of equipment that we are asking for purchase here today. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yes, you mentioned we're still in the need to see more people coming to the yard and where the people needed to provide those services. Is the pay with Wayne County comparable with some other county?
Yeah, we have become more comparable, and that's only within recent weeks due to the increase in wages. We are more comparable. There's always going to be somebody out there that's paying more, but we are not the ones paying the lowest amount either. So I think we're right in kind of happily in the middle there, based on kind of what we're seeing. And we are seeing folks that are very interested in coming into the county. Right now, we're in this kind of weird period because we do have, because of Oracle, we're in a hold pattern for the next month, I believe, or until the beginning of July. So in a few more weeks, then we will be able to continue to hire people. But because of the Oracle change, they had us in a hold pattern where we couldn't have any HR actions as the conversion kind of takes place. But we do have interested parties that are interested in coming to the county, and in some cases coming back to the county, folks that have left and then for whatever reason they found that the grass isn't as green out there and other organizations, and they have the desire to come back. So that really makes us happy about those situations.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
Thanks for being on.
Absolutely.
Steve, did you want to say?
You pretty much said everything that
Okay.
I was gonna say. Yes, we do have enough people to run the equipment. And it's just a matter of changing the old
Mhm.
machinery that needs to be replaced.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Any other questions before they leave? All right, thanks. All right, next item, Madam Clerk.
Item 10, requesting commission approval of a cooperative agreement with 3M Company for pavement tape.
Okay, this is pretty self-explanatory. 3M from Minnesota. Questions on this? All right, next item.
Item 11, requesting commission approval of Amendment 1 to a 3-year contract with Baker and Associates for as-needed professional engineering services on a project-to-project basis.
Okay, this is just, these are our engineer groups that we work with, but Baker and Associates along with right? Just want to make sure I'm saying. You're just putting this contract into place so we can use their services.
Alan Ko again, I'm the Assistant Division Director of Engineering. That's correct, madam. This is just an extension or asking additional funding for their services. So it's the same thing as OHM and this time it's Baker.
And I think we saw OHM and Wade Trim last.
That is correct.
Couple
You
weeks
have
ago.
approved the two consultants that
Yep.
we have.
Okay,
And now we're asking for this.
so it's only the three you're gonna come forward with?
Yes, we only have three companies with this contract as needed basis contract.
Okay, I thought we had more than that at one point.
But at this moment, we're only using three.
Okay,
Maybe we have a few additional last time, but we're only using three. at this
focusing on the three.
time. Yes,
Okay, questions? All right, thank you.
thank you.
Next item?
Item 12, requesting commission approval of Amendment 3 to a 2-year contract with a 1-year option to renew with 10 Mile Creek Excavating LLC to account for pavement removal for the resurfacing of 65 additional lanes within Wayne County Road, rights-of-way, and Michigan Department of Transportation freeways and trunk lines.
Okay, someone on this, just to give us an overall. I know, Steve, you were here last time and kind of touched on some of this.
Good morning, Commissioners. Steve
Morning.
Fair, Division Director, Roads Maintenance. So this contract extension is for our 10 Mile Creek, which is our milling contract. So originally, when we did this, we were only basing it on 50 lane miles. However, now we've extended that horizon. We're going from 50 to 100 lane miles, and that's what the extra
Okay,
funds is
that's
needed.
what this extra on this. Yay. Everybody's happy about that, I'm sure.
I am.
Questions? Did you have a question? No.
From 50 to 100 is
Yeah.
double.
It's great news. No questions, anyone? All right, thanks, Steve.
Thanks.
All right, next item.
Item 13, requesting commission approval of Amendment 1 to a 3-year construction contract with EC Cornelco for the Wayne Road over Turkish Creek Bridge reconstruction in the city of Westland.
Okay, I do have questions on this one.
Alan Ko, Assistant Division Director of Engineering.
Morning. Okay, can you tell us about this project?
Mm.
And it looks like it was delayed
Yeah,
for a while.
that's
ahead.
correct. We have delayed this for almost more than 2 years. And now we're ready to start the construction of this project. But unfortunately, during that period, there is an increase in cost from 2 years ago and now. That's why we're asking for additional funding for 236,000.
Okay.
So to increase their contract amount.
Okay, so that's the increase.
Yes.
So why was it delayed?
There's so many factors. One of the funding, most of it is more funding availability.
Oh, funding. Okay, did it have anything to do with the Merriman Bridge?
That's in addition to that one too, because we don't want to close bridges, in one segment, so to avoid traffic congestion. So
Because Merriman Bridge
Yes.
was, and Merriman Bridge is still closed, right?
that's correct.
And do you anticipate when that's going to be open?
Based on what I was told, it's gonna be done this year, but again, it's subject.
End of November?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm wondering if we're gonna get any kind of overrun cost on that Merriman Bridge. Yeah, I don't know if that's ever come to us.
Yeah, at the end of the construction, most of what we do is to make sure the project is balanced. So
Okay.
if there's additional cost, then we'd have to go back for additional funds.
Okay, it would come back to us after it's done.
That's correct.
Okay, because I would think that's gonna be a pretty,
Yeah, because we don't
Hefty
really know
amount.
exactly what that amount at presently. So until the project is complete, so
okay, so you will come back with all the project overrun costs with that.
that's correct.
All right. Any questions? Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Next item, next two items. No, I'm sorry, OHM is next item, 14.
Item 14, requesting commission approval of an addendum to a cooperative agreement with the 1-year option to renew with Orchard Hilton McClemick Inc., DBA OHM Advisors, for the construction of the Benoit Dorsey Park Greenway project in the city of Westland.
Okay, Elizabeth? Good morning. Thank you for coming out here. You want to just tell us about this?
Sure. Elizabeth Isler, Chief of Planning, Wayne County Parks. Yeah, this one is connected to a TAP grant, and part of the requirements is that we have to have a construction engineering oversight the entire time of the project. So
Okay.
that's what this contract is for.
Okay, great. When will this this has started already, right?
No, the canoe kayak launches have started. Those are happening right now, and that was with a trust fund grant. This is expected to be bid this fall.
Oh, bid this fall.
So
Okay.
it could start this fall into the winter, but probably next spring.
Okay,
Mhm.
great. Questions on this? Well, OHM did the front park in front of the train depot,
Oh, yeah.
and that looks awesome.
Yeah, no, they do.
They do a
job.
good job.
Yep.
All right, thank
All
you.
right, Thank you.
All right, Madam Clerk, next two items, I guess you could read together.
Item 15, requesting commission approval of an addendum number 2 to a lease with the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, increasing the lease rate to better align with operating costs and updating notification language for the Inkster Health Center building. Item 16, requesting commission approval of addendum 3 to a lease with the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, increasing the lease rate to better align with operating costs and updating notification language for the Hamtramck Health Center building.
Okay, thank you. Anyone here on this?
Commissioner, this is Haris Ahmad with Wayne County Corporation Counsel. I can speak to this,
Oh, okay, thank you.
unless there's somebody from the department there live.
I don't see anyone.
So yeah, no problem. I can speak to it. So it's a complex setup. I know that, but to make it simple, it's essentially these were bond financed properties for the health centers in Inkster and Hamtramck for the state of Michigan. And effectively now, the state of Michigan leases from the county, and it is a pass through. There's a property management company, different entities, but essentially the Boji Group, different subsidiaries. But it's 100% pass through. The county is not out of pocket for any of these expenses. So over the years, the operating expenses have increased naturally, as many things have increased, and so the state and the Boji Group agreed that there should be an increase in the amount of funds coming through. So this addendum, or these addenda for these two different items, each one is to increase that pass through. Initially we thought that this would come under the delegated authority for the resolutions for the bond based on the bond resolutions, but the state attorney general thought that there was enough time that had passed that it was more appropriate to come back to the commission for specific approval for this.
Okay, thanks for the explanation, because it is kind of confusing. The thing that blows my mind is this goes out to 2041 and 2040.
Yeah, it's because of the
Dead
bond
by then.
financing, because it backs the bonds.
Okay. Any questions on this? All right. Thank you for being here.
No problem.
Okay. Looking for direction to go to full board.
Chair, I move to approve item 2 all the way to 16, right? We have
Items 2 or item 1?
1
Okay.
to 16 for approval.
Support by Baden.
Okay. Any questions or comments before we vote? All right. I'll vote. You can just take my, yeah. Did you guys get on?
The technology not working like the usual, so I vote yes.
Okay, yeah, I'll have Madam Clerk call the roll then.
Commissioner Kellogg,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Baydoun,
Yes.
Commissioner Palomero,
Yes.
Chair Markey,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, thank you. Next item.
F, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
I've heard none. Next item.
G, public comments.
Anyone from the chamber here that would like to address the Committee on Public Services? Okay, anyone on Zoom that you can see, Madam Clerk?
We have a Ms. Buffington on Zoom with the hand raised.
Okay, Ms. Buffington, go ahead. You have 2 minutes.
I just want to indicate that it's a great loss that Eric Doe has resigned from Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network, and I wish him well wishes.
Yes, thank you. I don't know if you all heard that. He resigned. Mhm.
Very good.
Mhm. Okay, anybody else on Zoom? And could you unmute people that might be on the phone?
No other hand raised on Zoom.
Okay, anyone on the phone that would like to address the Committee on Public Services? Okay, any emails, Madam Clerk?
No emails were received.
All right. One more time, anyone on the phone or Zoom? Okay, next item.
Adjournment.
All right. So move. All right, we have an approval to adjourn support.